Hi there. So we're midway through renovations, which have been going on forever, and yeah. So we've just put up the video that we sort of talked about the bathroom, and we got a bunch of questions, and there's sort of a bunch of frequently asked questions about the bathroom that built up, and some of those decisions already ended up getting made and everything. So we're kind of updating on the bathroom and answering those questions.
Okay, question one. Why doesn't Michael have a head torch?
Michael does have multiple head torches. I've actually got 3 in rotation. In most of the videos in which it clearly looks like I should have a head torch on, they're sitting on the charger. We're going through a very large number of batteries. Do have head torches, yes, very much.
Question 2 is why are you keeping the bath?
The main reason we're keeping the bath is because of George. The bath is very useful for washing him, and it's kind of nice to have sort of a deep-sided thing to put him into so that he'll stay in place, because he will just sort of automatically stay in place if you drop him into a tub. I've tried showering him in a shower pan before. It does not go well. The secondary reasons mainly have to do with the fact that when we took the bath out and we sort of saw what was there with the wall, we kind of still wanted to have the arch wall back in. I know that some people will think that's a ludicrous decision and other people will understand it. I like the arch wall as a sort of design piece that separates 2 rooms. So you've got the bathroom, which we can decorate one way, and you've got the bath itself and shower area, which we can kind of decorate another way, and the wall acts as a kind of separation between the 2. And when you've got such a small space, it's kind of nice to be able to treat spaces as individual, at least to me.
Next question is, have you thought about using shower board?
Shower boards, yeah, we definitely thought about using shower boards. We may still end up using shower board for the ceiling. We saw the videos in which the girls at Narrowboat Experience use shower board, and David from Cruising the Cut used shower board, and we kind of appreciate the benefits of shower board, and we knew we'd get recommendations for shower board, but when we actually went looking at shower board, we couldn't find anything that remotely came close to something we actually liked. There are sort of tile pattern shower boards, but most of them, at least to our eyes, look very artificial. I wanted something in the bath area that was a sort of color accent, and I couldn't find a shower board that sort of met that set of properties. Next
question. Why don't you just tank in the whole bathroom and have a wet room?
Well, that one's really easy. It's the floor. To properly tank in a wet room, we'd have to raise the floor. There isn't a kind of option for us to... I could have carved out an area, put the drain down so that it went into the subfloor and was, sort of under there between the 18 mil, or actually 19 mil, I think it is, ply that produces the main floor that we walk on, and the steel. And you could have used that space, but if you use that space and anything goes wrong with the pumps, I could imagine we're just flooding a compartment down there and everything. So I kind of didn't like that idea. So the other option was to essentially raise the floor of the bath itself and raise that floor area. And that meant raising the floor area of everything else. Now, if we were doing a brand new fit out boat, like where it was completely a sail away and we could select to raise the floor without having to deal with all of the existing furniture and cabinetry having to then be modified to allow for that raised floor, it would make a lot of sense. Or if I was willing to take like quite a big step up into the wet room. But basically just couldn't figure out a wet room design that would work within the constraints that didn't require putting the actual waste under the ground in an area that would then be really likely to flood the bilge if anything went wrong. We've also got a pretty strong limitation on headroom because of my height. So if we were to kind of engineering a wet room that involved a multiple inch rise to be able to put the drainage in properly and tile it all, we'd end up sacrificing my ability to not hit my head. So the bath does that as well, but because the bath is able to be positioned such that it is actually a very small raise, and we're able to move the ceiling, we're getting me the headroom, and we're getting us the place where we can wash George. So yeah, it just came out on balance to be what we felt was probably the best idea. So custom shower pans. I did look at the idea of like making one ourselves, like just laying fiberglass or something. That's messy. I haven't done it before. I didn't really like the idea of the kind of iterative process of trying to get that right. So I started looking at shower pans that were available for direct purchase, and there's none that really fit the dimensions that we have available. We have kind of a weird problem of being really only 70 centimeters of depth and about a meter and a bit of sort of breadth across the boat. So like from inside wall to gunnel. That 70 centimeters of depth really is the problem. It was actually a little less than 70 centimeters. We're already going to have to move a wall in order to get to 70 centimeters. So when I went looking for shower pans that were pre-manufactured, I found a whole bunch of nice rectangular pans that were bigger than that and wouldn't work. I found some pre-made pans that were the right sort of dimension, but were only like half an inch tall. Well, that's not going to work because we need the barrier to get George within, so we kind of need something that was taller. The boat that we're on actually has like a 70 by 70 pan that it has sort of slightly elevated edges, and they've got a kind of wall around it, and it would actually work for the idea of bathing a George. But then when I actually went to use the shower, I found that I can stand, go into the shower my front, turn off the shower, dry off, walk out, turn around, come back, and start the shower off to shower my back. I have no option to spin around in that space. But basically 70 by 70 centimeters really isn't very much space. And I'd end up having to fill in the extra space with some sort of storage to make that work. So I'd want a 70 by 1 meter pan. There are no 70 by 1 meter pans that I could find, except for, again, very short ones. Custom gets us, it's like it just kept being there's so many compromises. If I go custom and I get someone else to build it so that there isn't multiple attempts and sort of like, that would be cheaper if I was doing it myself, but I couldn't come up with a way of getting to a good result without either multiple tries and just a lot of bodge fixing, or getting someone to come out and do one custom, and then that would cost more than the steel bath anyway. And the steel bath has one other advantage, which is that essentially it's incorporating a seat into it, like it's a bath. So I can stand and shower, and Joe and I can stand and shower, well, not together, but individually we can stand and shower. We can also fit George in and wash him and everything. But when I want to, like, really scrub my hair or something, or if I wanted to soak my feet, I can sit there and do that. And so, the hip bath is actually kind of a nice, albeit strange thing to have on a boat, but it's kind of a nice thing to go with. So that's why no custom shower pan. So I hope that answers the questions. That was the bulk of the repeated questions. There were a few one-off questions like, wouldn't it be cheaper to buy a new boat? No. Wouldn't it be cheaper to, start out from a sail away? No. No, the renovation actually is not that expensive. Like, materials costs on a boat are quite small. The time, storage, access to tools, we got lucky. Andrew has all of these tools that are available. Even if we were renting them, it probably would be fairly cost effective still to do the renovation compared to trying to find something that was already a sail away, because there's a lot of pieces of this puzzle that aren't being changed, and so it's a relatively small number of things that are actually undergoing it, even though they feel huge. So anyway, hope that answers your questions. Hope that answers the bulk of the things that have concerned people. George is doing fine. We're doing fine. I do have a head torch. We have plenty of tools, and we have a diminishing but still large amount of time.